I was not wanting this many people to see the video from yesterday, but on the other hand, obviously I'm very happy that a lot of you saw it and you learned some great stuff from it. Got some wonderful messages in that regard. I just get a weird feeling when I'm spreading this stuff to the public. Could not explain to you why. But I promise to answer all your questions, so we're going to do that. We're going to proceed and keep going for now. So let's just enjoy this little run for as long as it lasts. Let's get into the questions. First question is from Isops, and it's a good one. How do you anticipate the SMT will hold? Now, I may still make a video on this in the future if I decide to keep doing that, but this is the core of the issue, right? We know the SMT causes every move, but how do you know which SMT to use? And I would say two things to you. Number one, focus on time, right? Like I said, SMT always has to be between quarters of time, whether it's one day reflecting upon the previous day, whether it's a session creating SMT the previous session, right? It always has to be time-based. That alone will filter out a huge amount of false SMTs. Second one is what I call the freshness of it. SMT occurs only the first time where that period of time is breached, right? So like the first time the previous day's high is breached, first time the previous day's low is breached on any given asset, right? So that's not everything. It's not going to be perfect, but that's going to filter out 90% of the wrong SMTs. And really what my goal is to teach you guys the concepts and then for you to test those concepts and come up with your own thing, right? I learned from what I believe is one of the best traders in the world, Day, and I still couldn't make it work until I spent like a year making it work for me, right? So I can't take you all the way there. I can only give you the concepts, which is what I've done now. All right, let's move on to the next question. Ash NQ, this is not a question, but I wanted to mention it. Hashtag quarterly theory. That is correct. A lot of what I use is based on Day's quarterly theory, as I mentioned on the last question, right? If I was starting from scratch, and a lot of people have asked me this, I would go all in on Day's content. I would learn as much as I can from his Twitter. I don't really know what he's doing right now for the public, but I would just try to join, try to learn as much as I can from him. He is great. But then again, you have to take the concepts and figure them out yourself. No one can take you all the way there. Next question. We have Ian asking a question about where I learned the up close, down close difference. That was from Day. Precision candles, that is a Day concept that I learned from him. Next thing, curious about the other two assets. I use dollar index. That is correct. That is one of them. And the other one I use is the Japanese index. But you can use any asset that is closely correlated with another, right? And this doesn't only apply to index futures, right? You can do this with Forex too, with like the euro, pound, and dollar, right? That's the triad for Forex, right? So you can find your own assets basically, and as long as they're closely correlated, you can use them to find cracks in correlation. Next question. Ty or TY asks, can you do a vid on how to get your daily bias? That's not a separate thing for me. That's not really something that I do, right? I'm always analyzing the market to see which reversals are in place, but that's just the same process as I explained in the last video. So it's not a separate thing. It's just applying what I talked about in the last video to higher time frames and lower time frames. That's, in my opinion, how every single reversal forms, both higher and lower. So again, not a different process, but if there is a higher time frame move underway, then I will act accordingly. Next question. Zakos asks, once it starts making SMT, basically, how do you know when to enter? The answer to that is, like I explained in the last video, I'm always using a precision candle from the previous quarter. It's always what my entry is. As for determining which one to use, that's a lot of experience. I cannot condense everything I've learned in the past 5 years down into one thing, right? Into one video, into whatever I'm about to say right now. But that should be enough. This is what I'm saying is I teach you the concepts and then you have to apply them yourself. So like that's the type of thing where you have to take the concepts. Okay, now I know what a precision candle is. Now I know what SMT is. I'm going to go into my chart, figure out how can I determine how to figure out which one to choose. Because again, your way of picking might be better or different than mine. Like you should aspire to be better than me. Like you can't just cherry pick what I've done because it's not going to work for you. All right, that's it for the Q&A. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. But if you have more questions, drop them in here and maybe I'll do another one. Till then, peace out.